Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Phunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So we have to start from mantra 3, but because it has been a while, we'll just rewind a little bit. So we are doing Khanda 2, Mundaka 2, Khanda 1. So in Mundaka 1, Khanda 2, lastly we saw or Mundaka 1, Khanda 1, how it was mentioned that this Brahma tapasachiyate. By tapas, this Brahma swells. So Brahma was shown as Nimitta Karanam as well as Upadana Karanam. But Swamiji explains nicely that when can be in real sense Brahman be Nimitta and Upadana Karanam? When the effect is as real as the cause, then Brahman can be the Nimitta and Upadana Karanam. When can cotton be the material cause? When the cloth, when the dupatta, when the bed sheet is as real as cotton. But is the effect as real as Brahman in this case? No. That is not the case. And so ultimately, it will be brought to our attention, not now, ultimately, that in real sense, Brahman is not cause as well. Then why do the Upanishad takes such a pain in explaining Brahman as the Nimitta and Upadana Karana and all this process? Because we have to explain what we see. We have to understand what we see, and we have to understand what we see as one. And so, first of all, we have to understand how Brahman is the material, and so from the effect, we are so occupied with the effect right now and the diversity in the effect that we are not able to appreciate that oneness. And so, the Shruti is all the while taking our attention towards that one cause. And only when our buddhi, our intellect has become that subtle, then slowly we will be able to appreciate that, oh, okay, the degree of reality of both this cause and effect, both this Brahman and this manyness that I see is different. Then what is this? What is this effect? Is it really an effect? Or is it just an appearance? Just like the dream world and the dreamer. Dreamer is the reality of the dream world. Dream world is a projection upon the dreamer. So also it's a different degree of reality. So don't worry about this too much right now. The Shruti itself will, make us see. But right now, Shruti is unfolding this Paravidya in this chapter. Tadetat satyam yatha sudiptat pavakat visvalingaha sahasrashah prabhavante sarupaha तथा अक्षरात् विविधाः सौम्यभावाः प्रजायन्ते तत्र चैवापि अन्ति. So just as many sparks emerge from the fire, so also this many jivas they are born from this akshara and they merge back into akshara. That's the mantra. So does this mantra say that Jiva is born from Brahman or emerges from Brahman? Is that the intention of the mantra? No, that is not the intention of the mantra. What is the intention of the Shruti? Shruti's intention is to show identity between the two. What two? Jiva and Brahma. That they are identical. That spark is identical to fire. That is the intention. Intention is not in saying that many sparks are born out of fire. Intention is to show how, in spite of manyness, how there is oneness. Oneness in its essential nature, that the spark's essential nature is heat and light, and the same is the essential nature of fire. And that is the intent of the Shruti. And so this is how this unfolding begins. So truth is always unfolded. So this is how Shruti starts to unfold the uh, truth before us. This Paravidya before us. So that was said in the first mantra, and then that akshara, this everything, all jivas are born and they merge back into this akshara. And by saying that, what does it mean? That from which something emerges and merges back into is what? A material cause. Right? So by that, it is implied that Brahman is the material cause. Meaning, one thing alone is appearing as many. When I say cotton is the material cause of the patta and bedsheet, meaning what? Cotton itself manifests as these different effects. So also Brahman itself is manifesting as these different jivas. So then comes the second mantra. दिव्योऽह्यमूर्तः पुरुषः स वाक्याभ्यन्तरो यजः अप्राणोऽह्यमनाः शुभ्रः हि अक्षरात् परतः परः. This we saw last time. And Swamiji had mentioned in the lecture that mantra 2 and mantra 1 are linked. How? The nature of fire. How is the nature of fire? The nature of fire is divyah, amurtah, divyah, and amurtah and formless. So that nature of fire, just as the nature of fire is divyah, amurtah, so also this akshara is divyah, yamurtah, purushah. So then, whatever we saw last time, we did the unfolding of this akshara. But there is some linkage of that mantra 1, the fire mentioned in mantra 1 and mantra 2. Ultimately, this mantra 2 is expounding the akshara, and it is negating any visheshita in this akshara. So what did we say? Divya means Dyotanavan, Swayamju. It is self-effulgent. Then Amurtaha, formless, because it is formless. Because it is Purushaha, complete, or Purishayanat. It is dwelling in this heart. Therefore, it can be recognized here. So Purushaha Purusha shows both the identity between Jiva and Brahma by the two definitions. Because Purusha is also that which completes, that which pervades, which is Paramatma essentially. And Purusha also means Purushayanath, that which is residing or abiding in this Puri, namely this embodiment uh, of Sharira. So, in that way, Purusha can also mean Jiva. So, uh, this Purusha, uh, this Jiva, and this Brahma are identical, are one essentially, but it's not identical twins. It's not identical like the identical twins, but it's one alone appearing in two different forms because of the two different upadhi. So Bahya Abhyantaraho. So it is complete because it is present simultaneously outside and inside. Because essentially there is no outside and inside. Uh, because it is indeed Ajaha. Ajaha meaning it is birthless. It is devoid of birth. Uh, then in the second line, apranaha. It is without pranaha. Without manaha. I'm not going over everything again. Uh, and because it is a pranaha and a manaha without the prana and a mana, therefore it is shubhraha. Therefore it is shuddhaha, free from impurities. And it is aksharat parataha paraha. And it is superior than even akshara, maya, the avyakruta, the unmanifest, which is superior to its effects. Because maya is the cause of all the effect, all the creation, therefore maya is called akshara in relative sense. But this akshara brahma is superior to even that akshara maya. So Akshara Maya is a relative sense. Akshara Brahma is Akshara, imperishable in absolute sense. So with that, so that Prana was Kriya, Shakti, etc. All that I have skipped for now because we did that last time. So with that, we move forward to the third mantra. एतस्माज्जायते प्राणः मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथ्वी विश्वस्य धारिणे. So what do we want to show? That Purusha alone is there was no prana etc. before creation. Prana is not recognizable as prana before creation, meaning it is undifferentiated. All are recognized as what? That prana, mana are recognized as what? Purusha alone
Teaching.
before creation. Yes.
What's the like the gist of the third verse, right? What are they trying to say?
The
Like
third
how you
verse, so I'm just starting the third mantra. So before I translate it, so what they want to show is how from Saguna Brahma Pranaha is born. This is what they want to say. And so the third mantra is showing what Brahma is the cause of everything. That is what they want to show. That Brahman is also the cause of prana and mana, etc. Meaning Brahma is cause of everything. In Hindi here, it has, in Gita Press, it has written, they have written, Brahma ka sarva karanatva. That's the topic of this third mantra. So the third mantra is showing Brahma as the cause of everything.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
the gist of it. And the second mantra was the absolute nature of Brahma. That was the second mantra.
Yeah.
First mantra was to show how the Jagat, the creation, is born or manifest from the Brahman.
Yeah.
Just like the sparks manifest. Uh, so it's a manifestation. So again, coming back to mantra 3, it is showing Brahma as the cause of everything. So before that mantra is started, this question Sangati is given, link is given to this third mantra. Because in earlier second mantra, it was said that apranaha, amanaha, right? Uh, how is this aksharat purushaha? How is this Brahman? It is devoid of prana. It is devoid of manaha. In that manner, it was expounded. So then this question arises, Katham tena santi pranadayah iti? Why do they prana and mana, etc.? Why are they not there in Brahman? How do you say that prana and mind are not there in Brahman? Uh, so then it will be shown because prana and mind is born out of Brahman. Therefore, we say it is Brahman is devoid of prana and mana. Because the effect is born out of the cause, therefore, the effect before its creation is not there the uh, in the cause. Just like the last two words, right? Where was the last two words? Where is it going to be here? This, right? The last two words. So we actually have to start from here to give the sangati. कथं पुनः प्राणादिमत्वं तस्य इति उच्यते कथं पुनः अप्राणादिमत्वं how do you say that it is Brahman is aprana devoid of this prana tasya iti uchyate so then it is said uh, यदि हि प्राणादयः प्राग उत्पत्तेः पुरुषः इव स्वेन आत्मना सन्ति तदा पुरुषस्य प्राणादिना विद्यमानेन प्राणादिमत्वं स्यात्. If both prana and purusha was there before creation, then we can say that yes, Brahman was subprana. But that is not the case. Just as before this Devadatta, Devadatta's putra is born, uh, he is how? A putra. Uh, in the same manner, before the prana is born, Brahman is how? Aprana. So this effect is not there in the cause and therefore it is called aprana. Same thing is continued. Katham tena santi. How do you say that Brahman is pranadayah iti? How is prana and mana? Sorry, how is prana and mana not there in akshara? Then this mantra is there. Etasmat jayate pranaha because this prana, man and mind all the indriya, prana adaya. So beginning from prana, how do you say this prana adaya are not there in akshara? Because this prana, mana, and continued with adi, what else? Sarva indriyani, all the indriyas. Then the pancha mahabhut come, vayu, jyoti, apaha, prithvi, And what is Prithvi? Vishwasya Dharani, which supports the entire universe, even that Prithvi is born of whom? Etasmat. Kasmat? Etasmat. Kasmat aksharat paratah parah. That akshara which is parah, superior to that akshara, from that Brahman, everything is born. And therefore we say this pranadayah are not there in akshara before creation. So this is what the mantra wants to say. So going to the Bhashya, yasmat etasmat eva purushat nama rupa बीज उपाधि लक्षितात् जायते उत्पद्यते अविद्या विषयः विकारभूतः नामधेयः अनृतात्मकः प्राणः वाचारम्भणं विकारः नामधेयम् अनृतम् इति श्रुत्यन्तरात्. So even this first sentence is saying what the mantra wants to say. Let me try my best to do this. So because yasmat, because etasmat eva, from this akshara alone, from this akshara purushat, from this akshara purusha alone, nama rupa bija upadhi lakshitat, which is the okay, a second. The gist is word to word is sometimes so hard. From so the gist is because from this Brahman alone, this creation is born. Therefore, this creation is what? Vikara bhutah. It is just a modification. It is just a namadeya. The effect is just namesake. It is anrutam. It is mithya. Just as the pot is anrutam and clay is the reality. So what is pot is just a vikara of a clay. And so what we call pot is nothing other than clay. So what we call pot is vacharanvanam. It is just a namesake. It is just hanging on the speech. There is no tangible thing called pot. It is just name and speech. It is just pot is just something hanging on speech. It is just a namesake, or it is just a modification of that cause alone. And therefore it is anrutam. Therefore it does not enjoy the same degree of reality. So this vacharanambanam vikaro namadeyam is coming from Chandogya Upanishad. That is quoted to show how the effect does not enjoy the same degree of reality as the cause, and the effect is anrutam, it is mithya, it is not the absolute truth. Cause is more real than the effect. This is what they want to capture, and that is being, unfolded through this mantra. Let me still give you the exact translation of these words. So, Yasmat, are you able to see this document?
Yes.
Okay. यस्मात् एतस्मात् एव पुरुषात् नामरूपबीज उपाधिलक्षितात् जायते मीनिंग उत्पद्यते अविद्याविषयः विकारभूतः नामधेयः अनृतात्मकः प्राणः. So those prana adi, why are they not there in Akshara? Then it is said here, because prana, which is the object of avidya, avidya vishayah. So prana, which is the object of avidya, meaning it is in the realm of ignorance, and vikara bhutah, which is in the form of modification, which is namadeyah, which is only namesake, whose anruta atmakah, whose nature is mithya. Purushat, purushat jayate, purushat utpadyate, is born from this purusha alone. What kind of purusha? Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshita, inferred by this Purusha, we are not able to see. We are inferring, we are able to see the Upadhi, and based on that, we say that yes, it is this Purusha is the cause. We are not seeing the Purusha even while saying that, but because we are seeing the effect, and from that effect, we are inferring. So, inferred by the Upadhi, inferred by the Upadhi of the cause of the name and form.
May I?
Yes.
It's like the question is, okay, Brahman is the cause of prana, manaha, is right, and everything. That's the question mark. Like, how do you say that Brahman is the cause of prana and manaha? And the answer is because prana and manaha are the effect, and they were born out of Purusha. But that doesn't really justify. It's like, okay, you take it for granted because Shruti is saying it. There is no deriving theorem here, right? Like there is no proving it, the fact. The question is, how do you say that prana and mana are out of Brahman? Oh yeah, because prana and mana are effect, so there must be a cause, and the cause is Brahman, so cause cannot be the effect, and that's why it is. Is that just the reasoning?
So, you are trying to understand how that is? Is that your question?
Yeah, I mean, is there any logic that proves that Brahman,
Is the
Pranaha,
cause of
Manaha
prana?
came from Brahman, huh? Came, like the cause of prana. Yeah.
Right, right, right. I understand your question. No, we can't understand everything by logic, and we take Shruti as a pramana. So, because the Shruti says this, that is why we go by that. But
Okay.
even if we take our own experience in deep sleep, that how in deep sleep there was nothing other than I. This mind was not there in deep sleep. Prana, even if it was there, we were not actually aware of it. So even by taking our own experience of deep sleep, and then how when we become awake, then right?
So, Dirji, do you want to keep yours Zoom?
It's
Oh, yeah,
okay.
thank
It's
you.
okay. I'm muted. So sorry. Uh, so when we become awake, then we become identified with okay, now this is my mind, and the prana becomes I became connected with the prana. So if the prana is thirsty, then I say I am thirsty. The thirst is the dharma of prana, whereas I think I am thirsty. But in deep sleep, let us say if the prana needed water, do we realize that? No, we don't. So, how in deep sleep we are unconnected to prana and mind, and how when we become awake, we do get connected with prana and mana, right? So, in the same manner, the in this cosmic totality, also the same thing happens, and this is what the Shruti wants to show, that there is basically what does the Shruti wants to show, that one alone is appearing as many. That is what the intent of the Shruti is. We take prana and everything else to be real. And so, I'm just holding on because Rachita ji she's having some internet issues. I'll just give her 1 second and see how it's going. Now I resume that, right? Okay. Uh, you back.
Yeah.
Uh, so just as in our from deep sleep to waking, how the transition happens. So our deep sleep you can consider as the state where nothing was born, and the waking state is from deep sleep everything. So before waking state is the creation. Let us say everything is born, right? Our mind is born, our prana, etc. Everything, the indriyas are born. Like we get identified with everything. The world is there, but in deep sleep, nothing is there. There, uh, this Vishwa was not there. And in waking, that entire Vishwa comes around. From where is it born? Etasmat jayate. So from this one alone, everything is born. So in the same manner, just as the prana and mana uh, were not there in deep sleep, but they as though are uh, associated in our waking state. So they are as though born from this deep sleep. And in deep sleep, what was there? One alone. What was that? I, actually. So from that one alone, whatever was there in deep sleep, from that alone, this all comes about. So in the same manner, if that happens with us, the same thing happens at the cosmic level. We are talking about pranaha means this cosmic pranaha and cosmic mind. So same thing happens at the cosmic level. But we take Shruti's words because Shruti is our pramana, like Shruti is our eyes and ears. So not everything can be proved by logic. Uh, because logic itself is in the realm of Avidya. Logic has its, Brahman is not something that can be proved by logic. But Shruti, what does Shruti do? Shruti gives us enough logic to understand our experiences. So these are the logic that Shruti gives us. Shruti gives us creation is presented as a logic, as a supporting logic, so that we can understand our experience. What is our experience? Our experiences of manyness. Uh, that we are experiencing saprana. We are experiencing Brahman as saprana. But Shruti is telling it is Brahman as aprana. So what is the logic that Brahman is aprana, even though we are always experiencing Brahman as along with associated with prana? The logic is this, that before creation, uh, this prana was not there. How do you know? Nobody can know other than Shruti.
Okay.
That cannot be known by logic. It can be because Shruti says that's why. So
Okay.
that is the proof. Shruti is the proof.
Okay.
And sometimes they give because the same thing whenever creation comes in Chandogya also they say it is started as this creation uh, all this Jagat before its creation was one Sat alone. How do you say? Same thing will, the question will arise. How do you say? So
Because
there we
Shruti
don't
says.
question because Shruti says. So it is
Okay.
like theorem, right? In mathematics, we used to have a theorem. So then, so there is there is theorem, and then there is a rider. In rider, we have to prove. I don't know if all of you remember riders and theorems. So theorem is something where we take the theorem as is, and then there is, in the mathematics, you understand how this theorem is. In the rider, there is something, and then you have to logically understand that hypothesis itself. In theorem, the hypothesis is taken as truth, and then that unfolding is happening. In the same way, our Shruti is our theorem. It is our pratigna. Shruti says this, so that is our, sutra, capsule form truth. The truth in capsule form. And
Can I something? May I say something?
yes,
Since you know about theorem and this thing, it just recollects me that the basics of geometry is it starts from the point or bindu, they call it. Okay.
yeah,
And the definition of bindu is that the one which does not have length, breadth, or depth.
yeah,
Definition of bindu in geometry is that it doesn't have length, it doesn't have breadth, or it doesn't have depth. So, but you use pencil to point out, see, this is a bindu. But if you expand it, still it has a length, breadth, and depth. So, bindu is just an imagination. It's not the proof that we can give. It cannot be,
yes,
pointed or by the pencil or anything like that. That's the concept
yes,
of from which the entire geometry develops. So
yes,
it's like
yes,
that. It's like that. Brahma is there, but you cannot see it. I mean, you try to define it small or big or something like that, you cannot see, but it exists, and that's the point from where the entire thing starts. That is what is the assumption that we are doing. It's we
yes,
cannot see it, and window you cannot see it. If you try to deep it down to the smallest thing, still it has a width, breadth, with length and all. So it's just an
yes,
imagination or just the concept of bindu, and the entire geometry starts from there. It's like that.
yeah,
Am I right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to think as well. Yes, Sudhirji. Yeah, that's right. But yes, Rachita ji. So basically, this apranaha, etc., we are not trying to prove by logic
Okay.
because the Shruti says. Therefore, we take Shruti as a pramana. But we can logic wherever we will use logic in Vedanta, we will take it as a supporting logic. So our final pramana is not logic. Our final pramana for Nayayikas and other philosophies, which we will come in, like in the Bhasya, that discussions will be made a lot of times. They take logic as the pramana, whereas we in Vedanta, we take Shruti as a pramana. So for us, Shruti is a pramana, and logic becomes the supporting, aid to understanding what the Shruti is saying.
Okay.
So, but for uh, our so that just so that we are able to accept it, we can relate it from our experience of deep sleep and waking. That how before waking, when I'm associated with prana, etc., in deep sleep, I'm not associated with the mind and prana, and how one I, that consciousness awareness alone is in deep sleep, and from that, so where is this prana etc coming from? That one alone, right? That from which it emerges, and then where does it merge back into that consciousness awareness alone? So this we are able to at least see, even if we are not able to appreciate it exactly, roughly we are able to see, yes, that is happening in us, and so also is happening in cosmos, that before that there is constantly this manifestation and unmanifestation of this prana, mana, indriya, etc. From where does it manifest? From this one truth in this at this cosmic level, from this one atma, and at this from at the individual level, from this one atma, and at the cosmic level, from this samashti atma called the brahma. So this way we can relate from our own experience of deep sleep and waking to this creation.
Okay. Thank you.
So, so that was the gist of this yasmat is etasmat eva. So we'll go back to that. Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshitat. So, which is the cause of all the name and form. Name and form is the upadhi, is the costume. What are name and form? They are the costume. And who is the bija? Who is the cause of all the costumes? The one that is wearing that costume. Nami. Right? Who is that? Akshara. So the one that is wearing this costume. So by this name and form, by this name and by this effects, what do we want to infer? The cause alone. The cause alone is inferred by those name and form, and therefore this pranadi etc. are what? They are name and form. They are nothing but name and form, because pranadi are effects which are born from this purushat, from this akshara. What kind of akshara? The akshara which was said, which was unfolded in second mantra, Divyahi Amurtaha, the formless akshara. From this formless akshara, all these forms are born. This is what the mantra wants to say. Uh, from this formless akshara alone, all these forms are born. Uh, forms, uh, forms associated with different names and forms, or forms as understood through different names and forms. These are born from this Aksharat Purushaha. How are they? How are these names and forms? Avidya Vishayaha. They are in the realm of ignorance. Vikara Bhutaha. They are in the form of just the modification of the cause. They are Namadeyaha. They are just namesake. Anruta Atmakaha. They are actually, in reality, they are not absolutely truth. They are mithya. They are changing. That kind of pranaha. Because it was pranadaya, right? So it is talking about pranaha. So this pranaha is avidya vishayaha, vikara bhutaha, namadeyaha, mithya, changing, anruta, false. Uh, just as is said in this other Shruti of Chandogya, that all the effects are modification alone. They are just the namesake. They are just hanging on to the speech. Vrittika eva satyam. That is the second part of this mantra which is not stated here, but the clay alone is the reality, not the pot. The pot is just speech alone, hanging on to speech. So that was this sentence of the Bhashya. This part, Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshitat, I did not explain you perfectly, but I will let it go because the gist is explained. But so see, I'm here hereby. So Nam. So Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi. What is the bija here? This avidya is the bija here of all the names and forms. But essentially, even through mithya, anything mithya, what are we actually focusing on? Are we focusing on mithya or satya? Is mithya and satya two? I wish I could have done my video on, but sorry, I am not able to. See, the thing is, where are you going to find satya? Are you going to find satya separate from mithya? No. Where you see the mithya, there alone you have to identify satya. You have to understand mithya as mithya and satya as satya. And you have to understand that satya is the very basis of this mithya. You have to understand this. What is mithya? Mithya is anything that is changing. So you have to understand how this Brahman is the unchanging substratum of all these changing names and forms. They are changing because they are in the realm of ignorance. They are changing because ignorance is where? Ignorance is not in that name and form. Ignorance is there in my buddhi. It is my buddhi which is veiled by ignorance, which makes me see these names and forms as what? Many and real, changing things as tangible. My buddhi, because of ignorance, makes it see as real. So, by knowledge, where I see these names and form, and where I see these names and form as real, there alone I have to understand that no, these names and form, these are the changing reality. It is not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is Brahman, which is the substratum, which is this very adhisthana, which is what supports all the names and forms. Just as this clay supports this pot, so also this Brahman is the ultimate truth which supports all these names and forms. So where are you going to search for clay? You're going to search for clay in its effect. So where are you going to search for Satya? In that which is manifesting. Satya is not manifesting as an object. Only Mithya will be a matter of transaction, a matter of, our perception. So, in what we perceive alone, we will be able to infer that, okay, because there is this effect, therefore, it must have a cause. And that cause is Satya.
Yeah.
So,
So you see the upadhi and there you negate and say, okay, this is not it. Like neti almost, right?
yes, that is how you arrive at the cause. So, prana you feel. And because prana is, therefore, and because prana is changing, therefore anything changing must have a changeless substratum that you derive at.
Mm-hmm.
That because anything changing is what? Perishable. It is not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have some basis which is giving it the very existence to be. And what is that? That is something that is unchanging. So that with that kind of logic, so this is where we apply logic. So with that kind of logic, we arrive from effect, we arrive at the cause. Okay?
Yeah.
Not very clear, perhaps. Not as clear as perhaps how Swamiji would have explained, but try it a little bit. So that first sentence is very important in this third mantra. Then it goes on to say, go back to our Bhasya. So, nahi tena avidya vishayena anrutena pranena sapranatvam parasya syat aputrasya swapnadrashtena eva putrena saputratvam. Nahi tena avidya vishayena anrutena pranena, by through that prana, which is how, which is anruta, which is changing, which is mithya, which is not absolutely true, which is not absolutely real, or which is changing, through that prana, which is anruta, avidya vishaya, which is in the realm of avidya, which is in the realm of duality, ignorance, tena, through that prana, sapranatvam parasya syat. Nahi sapranatvam parasya syat. That sapranatvam is not possible. Sapranatvam of what? Parasya. Parasya meaning what? Parasya brahma. Parasya aksharaha. This of the akshara brahma, of this absolute truth, of this brahma, this sapranatvam is not possible. This brahman being associated with prana, or being possessed of prana, is not possible. Why? Aputrasya, or how? Aputrasya, of the one who is devoid of son, swapnadrashteneva putrena, who has seen a son in his dream, he does not become saputratvam by that. When he becomes, when he wakes up from his dream, does he become the one with son? No. That putra was only restricted to his dream world. That the one who is devoid of son, he doesn't become one with son just because he saw a son in his dream. And so also, this Brahman doesn't become one with prana, because this prana is of the nature of what? Anruta. It is not absolutely real. It is avidya vishaya. It is in the realm of duality. It is in the realm of ignorance. It is anurta. It is mithya. So this is the logic. Okay. So this is the logic why Brahman is apranatvam. So now the same logic will be applied for everything, for manaha, sarva, all the indriyas, etc. Evam manaha sarvani cha indriyani Vishayaha cha etasmat eva jayante. In the same manner, the manaha, the mind, sarvani cha indriyani, all the sense organs, Vishayaha cha, and their respective corresponding uh, objects that they perceive. Etasmat eva jayante. From this alone they are born. From which? From this Brahman alone they are born. How? This logic. Yasmat etasmat eva purushat nama rupa bija upadi rakshitat jayate. This logic. By this logic, they are born. But by this logic, how? Even though the prana, or because the prana is born or manifest from this Brahman, therefore it is apranaha and not sapranaha. Just as in the dream you had the sun, but in the waking you understand the reality of that sun as mithya, as not real. And so also by this logic, how that Brahman is always apranaha, not sapranaha, because the effect is not of the same degree of reality as the cause Brahman. And by that logic, the manaha, indriyani, etc. are born, but Brahman is essentially a manaha and devoid of all the indriyas, etc. Tasmat siddham. Therefore, it is established. Asya nirupachitam apranadimatvam ityartha. Therefore, it is established that this Brahman is devoid of prana, etc. It is not possessed of prana, etc. Smat siddham asya nirupachitam apranadimatvam ityartha. Therefore, of this Brahman, in its primary sense, nirupachitam, is it upacharitam or upachitam? Let me see. Upacharitam. So, only in figurative sense, not in primary sense, Brahman is devoid of prana as well. It is not sapranaha, it is apranaha. यथा च प्राग उत्पत्तेः परमार्थतः असन्तः तथा प्रलीनाः च इति द्रष्टव्याः. In the same manner, just as prag utpattehe, before creation, paramarthatah, in absolute sense, the pranaha was not there, asantah means it was not there, it was absent, tatha pralinaha cha iti drashtavyaha. In the same manner, after the prana merges back into this akshara, into this purusha, into this Brahman, then after that also it is apranaha. After that, or it is asantaha. After that also it is not seen. This should be understood, that this pranaha is asantaha both before the creation, pragutpattehe, and pralinaha cha, and after merging. Only in between it is manifest. Therefore, it is what? It is mithya. What is not there before creation and after dissolution and is just manifesting in between is just an appearance of the cause. This is one of the logic that will be established in one of the Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. In that Upanishad, there is a Karika commentary on the mantra, where this is explained in detail. We will not go there too much, but this concept that is derived, that anything that is not there before creation and that which is not there after the dissolution is just appearing, but is there in between, is just an appearance of the cause. So this is one of the logic. By logic we prove that it is just an appearance. So in this manner, Shruti uses the logic to come up with, to show us that how in our experiences we are seeing this prana, etc., but it is just an appearance. So Shruti uses that logic, and Shruti uses our day-to-day experience like dream, etc., to come up with this derivation, that how it is just an appearance. Dream is a classic example to show how, even though in dream we feel that everything is satya, is real, tangible, we think that everything is tangible in dream, but it is not. When we wake up, we realize it was not. And so also, when we wake up to the truth, we realize that it was not real in absolute sense. It was one alone appearing as that many. So last sentence, yatha karanani manaha cha indriyani cha. Just as this instruments, karanani means instruments, called mind and all the sense organs, tatha sharira vishaya karanani, so also bhutani, sharira vishaya karanani bhutani. So also these 5 elements which are the cause of the sharira, which are the cause of these embodiments of the deha. What is the cause of all the gross body? We learned in Tattva Bodha that the gross body is formed of the tamas element of the 5 elements, right? So see how Tattva Bodha is very important. We need to learn everything from Tattva Bodha. So just when Bhasya, when in the Shruti all these statements are made, it clicks to us quickly. So yatha karanani, so just as these instruments are born, so also this bhutani, the 5 elements which are the cause of this gross body, these are born. What are those 5 elements? Kham. The mantra says kham. What is kham? Vashyakara says kham is akash, space. Then vayuhu. Mantra says vayuhu. What is vayu? Bhakya avahadi vedah. So in the commentary, in the unfoldment, Swamiji explained what this avahadi, etc. is. I'm not going to go over that detail. It is technical, but essentially, Vayu has these Vedas of Ahvaha, etc. Even I don't know exactly what that is, so I'm going to skip it. But all we can remember is Vayu has all these Veda. So that is how Bhashyakara is trying to explain. If not that, at least we can understand why you has this Veda of what? Prana, Apana, Udana, etc. So that Vayu, with all this Veda, that Vayu is born, that Bhuta, that element Vayu is born from the Sakshar. Further, Jyotihi of the mantra is explained as Agni, the fire. Then Apaha of the mantra explained as Udakam, water. Then Prithvi, Dharini. Prithvi means earth. Dhatri, earth, Dharini, that which supports. Mantra itself says Vishwasya Dharini. Vishwasya means Sarvasya, of the entire Vishwa, of the entire creation, that which is Dharini, that which supports the entire creation, that is Prithvi. So, Etani cha Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha Uttara Uttara Gunani Purva Purva Guna Sahitani Etasmat Eva Jayante. In this manner, these 5 elements which are comprised of this 5 gunas, right? Shabda is the guna of Akasha, Sparsha is the quality of the attribute of Vayu, Rupa is the attribute of Jyotihi, Agnihi, Rasa of Apaha, water, Gandha of Prithvi. But how do we find that Akasha has only one guna? Vayu has the guna of not only Vayu but also of Akasha. So whatever is born subsequently also carries the attributes of its previous cause. So Vayu will have the attribute of itself as well as Akasha. Then fire will have the attribute of itself as well as the specific cause attribute of Vayu and the specific attribute of Akasha. Like that, the gunas in Prithvi, there are all the 5 gunas. In Akasha, only 1 guna. In Vayu, there is only there are 2 guna, then 3, then 4, and finally in Prithvi, the last effect, there are all the 5 gunas. That is what they want to say. That etani cha shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha uttara uttara gunani, the subsequent guna, purva guna sahitani etasmat chayate. They are born from this Brahman alone. Okay, I think we have to take a full stop here. And so tomorrow we will, I will continue with this 4th mantra. And I will try to speed up because today I had to revise a little bit from the first second. We will try to speed up and see at least if we can complete till mantra 7. And hopefully on Wednesday we will complete that entire Sanskrit review. And then if you wish, you can do it on Friday or you can choose to summarize on Monday, whatever you wish, whatever your comfort level is. But any questions from today?
No.
Good.
Thank you. No.
Okay. Yes, so let us end with the prayers.
Yes.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha
Harihi
Harihi Om.